What's up guys, welcome back for another episode. So in this video, the G80 is going away. So it's taking a ride all the way down to Miami. If you guys have been following the journey about the G80 with getting the whole front end redone, repainted, and getting it prepared for the invasion of West Palm Beach. It's been about a month and a half, almost 2 months, but we let the paint cure and we are gonna be shipping this all the way to Hugh's Detailing in a little bit. The enclosed transporter is gonna be arriving and we're gonna load this thing up. And then by next week, we're gonna head over there. So what they're gonna be doing is doing a lot of the preparation before it gets fully PPF'd again. So if you guys seen in the last couple episodes, this entire hood is brand new from Vorsteiner. This is a full carbon fiber hood. This fender here is from Carbonius. This is a carbon fiber fender. And as you saw, they basically repainted the front, right? The hood, the fenders, and they blended it into the doors. But if you guys haven't seen that video, I'll link it down in the description. But what's gonna happen is, like I said, the transporter's coming here. They're gonna pick this car up and we're gonna bring it down to Miami. And the reason why I'm not driving it down is because why spend all that money to get this car perfected and have a rock chip destroy it? Sure, PPF doesn't stop everything, but I do want to take extra preventative steps on making sure that it's protected. So that's why we're getting this transported professionally down to Miami. So stay tuned and then enjoy the rest of the video. So we finally made it here down to Miami. As you can see from the title and thumbnail, I haven't been able to drive the G80 M3, and a lot of it is because we just got the whole front repainted, got the brand new carbon fiber hood, fresh paint job from Samuel's. And one of the worst things about having a freshly painted car or anything like that is ruining it if you're not protecting it. So we're here at Hugh's Detailing, and the team here are gonna get the car prepped, get it car protected so we can actually drive the car. And we're gonna take you guys throughout the whole process. A lot of this stuff that you've seen before on the previous preparations of the G80 or even my wife's X5, you'll see a lot of it here today. And also we'll get some more additional information too that I know a lot of you guys are interested. So stay tuned, so much B-roll, so much information is gonna hit you guys in this episode. So we got Mr. Hughes here.
How's it going?
You were just showing us in the front. Let's just check it out real quick. So what were we saying about the front? This is a Cinnabar Red 50th anniversary.
So this is imagine a 1 of 500 individual car. And car, well, has a little bit of mileage, but you know, accidents can happen. And unfortunately, this one took a pretty nasty rock chip to the front of the hood. So the car was in for PPF, and just happened that in the time that we were waiting on the car to come in, one nasty rock chip kind of dinged this up pretty bad. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to do a little bit of touch of paint and work our magic here to make it look a little bit better. But if this would have had some PPF on there, that would have definitely done its job. So.
And the crazy thing is, like, this brings back nostalgia, right? Because it looks relatively stock, right? Definitely not when you look underneath the hood. But yeah, it's been a while since I brought my G80 back here, but we're getting some work done in a little bit. We're gonna bring the G80, get it all washed and prepped because we're PPFing the car.
Correct. Yeah, we're gonna get your car back to being roadworthy. So we got all the new parts that are on the front of the car, got everything painted, so it's been well past the curing time of it. So now that it's in here, we're gonna get the car washed and cleaned up again, reapply some PPF on the parts that have been painted. That way we can be, well protected, drive so we can avoid little things like this from happening. Yeah, get you back looking like nothing ever happened. So.
And yeah, like the reason why I wanted to wait for that long, because you got to let the paint cure, and it would kill me so bad to spend all that money to get the carbon hood, everything painted, and to have something like that happen, that would just murder me.
Yeah, and it's super important too. So no matter what paint shop you use, there is some little bit of curing time that we always recommend. Now that can vary from paint shop depending on how much hardener they put in the in the paint, solvents, things like that. So what they mean by curing is basically letting kind of like all the gases and solvents bake out of the paint. So it's important to kind of let it sit for a little bit. What can happen is we don't want to have an issue where we're wrapping it, sealing the paint in there, and then when we go to remove it later, we have an issue with premature failure because we're covering it too fast. So, your car has plenty of cure time right now. It's already been, what?
Almost a month plus, yeah, a month plus.
So right around 6 weeks, at least, more or less. So we're good to go. We checked it already. So all the paint match, looks really good on the car. Paint's nice and cured. So now we can kind of do our magic and washing the car, polishing it, and get it rewrapped.
Yeah, and then later we'll mic you up and we'll talk to you and get your opinion about how the paint came out. I know you gave us a little hint that it came out pretty well.
Yeah, I'm super thrilled with it. I saw the car when we were over at Invasion. It was right on display. The best thing is, when you tell somebody did a really good paint job is you can look at it under different lighting, whether it's fluorescent lighting, LED lighting, or also lighting outside in the sun, right? Whether you have your garage inside or in your garage or outside, you want it to always look the same. So that's what we call kind of like by that color flop. Some colors are really hard to match, and I think that on your car they did a really awesome job. I know they blended into a few areas, but on some colors that's a little bit needed in order to kind of get that match down. Also considering that you have some parts that are plastic versus carbon versus if there's any fiberglass, it's always going to refract a little bit different than the metal parts. So on your car, I think they knocked it out of the park with the paint job.
Yeah, and to be honest, like you have to make sure you go to the reputable shops, whether it's PPF, paint work, body work, anything, right? Because again, you don't want to spend all that money and have it redone again.
Yeah, and it makes a world of a difference too, especially for us doing PPF, right? Because we want to make sure that not only is the paint work done the first time right, but once we go to wrap it to kind of preserve in that condition, we don't want any issues later on when we go to remove the film that if the prep work's not done right or it wasn't cured properly, whatever, that we could have paint delamination. I mean, we never want that scenario to ever happen. So from time to time it can happen depending on the right car, but as long as all the prep work's done right and paint work's done right, I mean, it'll be just like factory, you can never tell. So, we wanted that if in case something like this ever comes up, the film takes some damage, and we got to peel it off later on, we'll have no issues.
Awesome. I'll let you get to work. I know you're busy. You got a whole bunch of cars here. But yeah, enjoy the B-roll as they work on the G80.
Yep.
Yo.
All right, Ed. So we got...
That's the way you do it.
Yeah, no, I just swing the camera to your face. I snipe people, right?
Yeah.
So...
Out here playing Call of Duty.
What is Fritz doing right now? I know for people that don't know the decontamination process, there's multiple steps. This is the physical step, right?
Correct, yeah. This is more of like the physical step to kind of clear the paint up. So he's just going through a little clay bar process right now, just so we can get ready to throw some smoke on the vehicle, so that we can kind of condition the coating to come back to life a little bit and kind of help bring its full potential back.
And then, not smoke, right? So people that don't know the product,
yeah,
M4 smoke, what is that?
I'm gonna grab an empty bottle, but M4 Smoke is just pretty much Modesto's version of their conditioner for their coating. So it kind of just, if you have any sort of dead spots on the coating that aren't beating anymore, it kind of helps bring it back and kind of just fully revives it.
And then for me, like, I like to maintain my own vehicles and stuff. How often is too much, right? If I were to do that maybe like every 3 months, every month, is that too much?
No, there's no such thing as too much for that. You can do that pretty much once a month, ideally. Ideally, we do say 3 months is kind of like the sweet spot, so you can kind of preserve everything. But ideally, most people, life is busy. Everyone understands that. Every 6 months, give or take, the coating should be fine. But if you want to do it every month, there's no issue with that at all.
Okay, and then what do we plan on ceramic coating the front of the car? Because again, the doors, mirrors, fenders, and hood and bumper need to be coated.
Say mirrors again?
So yeah,
No. You say mirrors again? How do you say mirrors?
Oh, mirrors. Yeah, mirrors. I'm from New York, man. Come on. I'm from New York. So Ed, he's throwing on smoke, right? So you were saying that this product is good for somebody to use probably, you say once a month if you really want to maintain it, but if you're busy, maybe like every 6 months?
Yeah, you're fine with every 6 months. Ideally, the 3 month is kind of the sweet spot that we kind of like to advise for, but ideally, everyone's busy, so 6 months is usually the way we kind of tell everyone to go, and all the coating should be perfectly fine after that.
Here's a good question. So if I didn't ceramic coat my car, right, with Modesto product, is this still a good product to use on another ceramic coating?
Yeah, we actually use this product all the time. We have some customers that have ceramic coatings from different brands, and it pretty much still does the same effect. It just kind of brings the coating back to life.
Okay. And then we're talking about what are we going to be throwing onto the car, right? Because last time we were here, we threw BCO4. What are we planning on coating the front of the car again with?
We'll probably be doing BCO4 again. Unless you want to kind of change it up, go for BCO5 and kind of just change the look up of it. But ideally, we want to kind of keep it about the same so that everything
keep it universal?
is in unison, yeah.
Okay. And then the BCO4, I guess, you know, how long is that ceramic coating rated for?
So that ceramic coating is rated for about 5 years, and that's subject to how it's taken care of. Because sometimes we do have some cars that come in, people don't wash their car for about a year. Coating will eventually fade away. You know, it sucks to say, but ceramic coatings do need to be maintained. You are spending the money to protect the vehicle, but you do have to still put in a little bit of elbow work to kind of keep it going.
Because Modesto is probably one of the most expensive ceramic coatings out there, right?
To my knowledge, yeah, it is a little bit on the pricier side, but I will stand with it. It is one of the better coatings out there.
It is a true glass coating, and then
coating.
We talk about true glass coating. You can actually take that ceramic coating, I guess, applicator.
Correct.
And you can feel how glassy it feels.
I can even show you here with BCO4. We have, this is pretty much BCO4. It pretty much hardens into a full glass little cube.
So that's just glass now.
This is just a little glass balls that we have here that's from BCO4.
And then somebody that maintains their car, like, this ceramic coating could last more than 5 years, right?
Oh yeah, this coating can last. I have one customer that he's on his 7 or 8 year mark, give or take right now, and it looks like we just did the car a couple months ago still.
So based on what you see right now in the beating, how do you think my car is?
From the door that still has the coating, everything looks actually pretty good.
Yeah, pretty much the rear half of the car has the coating on it, but it looks still pretty good, right?
Yeah, no, everything looks good. As long as you maintain the car, everything's always going to work properly. Which, as we all can see, you're doing a very good job on it. So yeah, it's just ideally any ceramic coating, no matter the brand, you gotta maintain it. You gotta maintain it. I don't like to sugarcoat it and tell you it's gonna be bulletproof. I'm gonna be honest with everybody. You have to maintain your ceramic coating no matter what.
Okay.
And as long as you do, you'll be happy. And ideally, ceramic coating does cut your wash process time usually about in half. So it's not a bad thing to maintain it so you can always have that ease.
And then are you going to be doing the polishing on the front?
Yeah, so we're going to have to do any sort of polishing because we're wrapping the hood, no?
Yeah, you're doing, so basically doing the doors, the two front doors again. the fender, front bumper, and then the hood.
Yeah. So once we finish doing all the film, or well, before we do any sort of film, we're gonna polish anything out just to make sure any imperfections that may be on the paint from the paint that was done, and then we're gonna wrap it, and then we're gonna do this ceramic coating on top of the PPF.
Gotcha. I'm excited. I'm actually excited to finally to be able to drive the car. I haven't been able to drive the car almost 2 months, two plus months already. So, yeah. Stay tuned. We got so much more content.
For 2 months, they did the car pretty quickly.
Yeah.
They did the car pretty quickly.
Well, the car sat there for about a month, and I tell people all the time, like, I probably cut the line. I probably wasn't the only one there. You're like, they're months in advance booked because they do really good work.
Yeah. No,
you know?
everything came out great, and that's actually a pretty quick timeline. 2 months for them to do all that. It's pretty good.
I'm very happy with that.